leading on Josh Mills. Janos Magasrevi in third position in the Drivers' Championship, followed by Otto Acosta in fourth. Dylan Cooper in fifth. Richard Haney in sixth. Richard Walcott in seventh. Bill World in eighth position. Ezekiel Montero, our favorite ringer, in ninth position. And wrapping up the top 10 for this Drivers' Championship is Elise Tape in 10th position. We had a few mishaps this season, had to withdraw for health issues. So we'll talk about that and much more during that program. So welcome to the 7th race of the 2024 season. And it's my home race. It's in the province of Quebec. It's Montreal, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, one of the oldest races in the championship, a track loved by all the drivers, and compared to the last race, which I gotta say it was quite a snooze fest, except for that little destruction derby we had in the first third of the race. This race should be interesting, at least if it is like the race we saw last weekend. So tonight, unfortunately, we will be missing a few drivers. So I have some news about that. So Juan del Castillo, who we nicknamed Señor El Fuego, will actually be will not be here tonight due to surgery. So surgery probably because he had some burn on his body because he took fire more than one. Also, Otto Acosta won't be here because he's traveling for work. Richard Walcott is doubtful to be here, although I haven't seen if he's on the track or not for now. So we'll keep an eye on this. He might be here, he might not. And Richard Haney for Williams won't be here, but he will be replaced by our favorite ringer, Mr. Zeke Montero, a fast driver, really exciting. So this should be interesting. So Montreal, great track, drivers like it. There's 12 turns in that track. This is quite a fast track, one of the fastest in the calendar because there's a long straight at the end. The points where it is interesting to watch drivers is the last chicane first because they're having to brake really hard, and there's the wall of champions. Turn number 1 and 2, the Senna S's, is another place after a DRS section where people can attempt an overtaking and mistakes can happen there. And then you have those little S's near the river, which are a real fast section. Some drivers can make an attempt there, but usually they're trying to set themselves up till the hairpin, which is another hard braking zone, and a lot of things happen in history in that particular turn. And then you got the long straight with the DRS, and it's easy to use the slipstream there to overtake a driver. Also, I mentioned the Wall of Champions. We'll talk about that a little further in the program. We're gonna go to a little break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry for that little technical difficulties, but we had a little sound problem internally. But I know that you guys can hear me on the broadcast. So we were talking about the track, the championship a little bit. So our two drivers that are leading the championship right now are Janice Riera and Josh Mills. They've been fighting fiercely since the start of this season. Riera is actually leading, I think. It's exactly 9 points, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, it's 6 points over Josh Mills, so that's not a lot. 6 points is exactly what Mills would need with a victory. We could get with a victory and a fast lap in this race in order to catch Mr. Riera back, and they would be even in the championship. So this race should be interesting. There won't be any rain according to what I can see. This track is exactly 4.361 kilometers. The tires for this race will be the specs C3 to C5, which are the softest, if I'm not mistaken, in the tire spec. This is a 70 lap race. So a lap in here usually goes around 1 minute and 10 seconds. So far in practice, Riera has the fastest lap with a 109.240. Zeke Montero is not far behind with a 109.5. I'm actually on board with Argenis Riera, who just slowed down right there. So, Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, of course, named after the famous driver Gilles Villeneuve, my hero, a legend in the Formula One history, gone too soon, unfortunately, at the age of 32. In May of 1982, I was almost 3 months old. Gilles Villeneuve is actually the first driver who won on that track in 1978. So it was his first win at his home race and his first Formula One season for Ferrari. A real nice story. If you guys want to look it up, it was a magnificent race. He was not leading, but someone at the front had I think it was driving for Lotus, if I'm not mistaken, had a gearbox problem, and then Gilles inherited of that first position. But it is what it is. You can have breakdowns in Formula One. We saw it in the last race. I think that might have been tape, if I'm not mistaken, Elise tape that suffered from overheated engine. So this race, this RFactor platform provides us with a lot of realism. So this is fun to watch. Also, they really have to think about all the aspects of racing. Tonight, I'm alone. I'm not with my usual partners in crime. Either Greasy's still not here, won't be here for probably the whole season now. My good buddy Matt Hartley is still on vacation across the pond, so he will probably be back. I'm sure he will be back for the next race in 2 weeks' time. We'll have lots of fun. We like his input, his knowledge of the game, and his sense of humor. So it's always fun to have him around. Nick Allard can't make it tonight as well. Our replacement from last week. Thanks to him, he really filled in at the last moment, and it was fun to have somebody with me. Even if English is not his strong suit, he really did well, and I really appreciate his effort on the program. So on the live right now, there's not a lot of people. There's 6 people watching so far. I would love you guys just to, entertain you a little bit, ask some questions, talk to me about the race last weekend. We are just 1 minute away from the start of the qualification. You can tell me your predictions on whom will get the pole position here. Actually, between Riera, Mills, it's anybody's game, but Zeke Montero is putting some good times on the board right now, so we might have a surprise here. And while we're waiting for the quali, I was talking to my producer Jess about the famous Wall of Champions, and I have a map here with the turns. I usually have, I always have a map with me, even though I know the track. It's always nice to see a map where you can know the turn names and everything. And the famous Walls of Champions on my map, this is so funny for those who like Formula One and you like Formula One history. So it says that the Wall of Champions is famous because it claimed a lot of drivers that crashed there. You know, it's a really tight spot, and all of the drivers that crashed there, they're not all champions, but there are like high-profile drivers. And believe it or not, in the names we had Derek Warwick, Jacques Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher, Damon Hill, all great names. And at a certain point in the list, believe it or not, there's the name of Pastor Maldonado. Oh, okay, yeah. It probably was claimed there, but I wouldn't put it in the Wall of Champions name. All right, quali is starting, so the drivers are getting in line, and I think first in line would be Argenis Riera. Usually, he's usually first in line, so I'm on board with him. And we'll be watching in his warm-up lap. I'm gonna stay on board with him so we can see the track. We're to get out of the pits here. It's quite tight. This is after turn 2. So they have like a little tight section before those S's here. And the walls are really close here. This is another fast section with a blind corner. And then you're hard on the brake here, going left and right. This is where Jenson Button took the victory after Vettel lost it, and I think it was 2010. There was rain conditions. Fun fact about this. And then another chicane here. And then you're going very, very fast and arriving to the famous hairpin where Nigel Mansell cut off his engine and lost the victory in 1991, I think. That was unfortunate for Nigel. And then you got the long straight going to the last chicane, the famous Wall of Champions, and there's your lap. So it's not very long for a lap, even a warm-up lap. And now Riera is going at it. He's negotiating pretty good. I'm going to try to see where Josh Mills is. Josh Mills also started his lap. Zeke Montero as well. So these guys are following each other. Riera is actually catching a slower car already. So there's a car that was... There's a Haas. There's a Haas, sorry. So, okay. Nicely done. Stayed on the right to avoid any contact or any impeding here. There's another car after the hairpin, but I don't think it's going to be much of a factor. So well negotiated from Argenis Riera. This should be a nice banker here. Can't take advantage of the draft here. I think Mills is following not far behind. Yeah, that is Mills, and there's Montero. So we're going to have the times back to back to back. So 109.3, that's not his best time. He was faster in practice. 109.7 from Mills and 110.6 by Montero. So we know we can do better than that. We saw Montero do a 109.5, which would have placed him in second place. So Sean Higgins with a 112.9. It's almost 113 right there. Janos Magasrevi just negotiated the hairpin. Oh, there's a car behind him. What was going on? There was smoke, but more on that later. So Janos Magasrevi, what kind of time can he put on the table? Magasrevi, oh nice! Third place for Magasrevi with a 110.4. So a few drivers in the 110s and 111s so far. And we have 6 drivers that have yet to place a lap. Some of them are in the pits right now. They might, maybe some of them crashed or had a little mishaps. We haven't seen all of them. So Tony Mizala is getting out of the pits. Thomas Shepard, what's going on here? He's at the pit entrance, coming back. Okay. We're trying to figure out. And Jean-Pierre Lalancette for Red Bull negotiating the last curve. Lalancette are unlucky gentleman of the season, hasn't finished a lot of race. I think he finished one race. It might have been that. Let me see. La Lancette. Yeah, so he scored points in the 5th and 6th race. Otherwise, 0 because of DNFs. And also did not participate in the 2nd race for him. So Riera is back on track. So is Mills. So is Zeke Montero. And so is Magus Revi. So these drivers, they have 5 minutes left to this qualifying session. And we'll be following Riera. He's at the last straight. I'm going to go on board with him for that fast lap. I want to see what's going on with his driving. Negotiating the last chicane. No walls of champions for him. And there he goes. Nicely done. Good control. Whoa, that was close to the wall on the right side from Riera. I don't think he touched it. Good apexes, not too hard on the rumble strips here. Hard on the brakes. Well negotiated as well, so very much in control here. It's really fun to see him drive this Formula One. He's so smooth with it. Good relaunch. No skid. Nicely done. Just one more turn to negotiate for Riera. And I'm going to try to see how they negotiated behind him. So hard on the rumble. Close to the wall. Nicely done. We'll look at his time. What about Mills? Okay, Mills aborted. So, Riera with a 109.1, so improved by 2/10. Josh Mills aborted. Zeke Montero with a 109.8, so he did improve his time. Bumped Janos Magasrevi. I think Magasrevi improved as well. Yep, I think he had a 110.4, so... And Thomas Shepard has yet to put a lap. We have 17 drivers on the track. So Josh Mills is back on track. There's 2 minutes 40 seconds to go. Tony Mitsalis here with a 112 flat. 112 flat is actually the times that were on pole this time around. And 2 drivers had the exact same time. We don't see that very often. So Riera's in the pits. He's coming out of the pit again, and we'll have a 3rd attempt in quali. Josh Mills about to start his hot lap. So we're on board with Mills. We're going to give him his 1 minute of fame. Hey, Elise Tape in 4th position. Nicely done by Tate, 110 flat. Still following Josh Mills. Oh, close to the wall. Not sure he brushed it. No damage here. No time penalty. Can Josh Mills go under 109? Oh, that was nicely done here. So I'm still on board with Mills. Negotiated the last hairpin. Nice speed. There's a car zigzagging to warm up his tires right in front of him. So it's either you get out of the way or you step on it. He's getting out of the way. Oh, high on the rumble strip. That was super aggressive by Josh Mills. That was spectacular. He has yet to improve his time, unfortunately. That was, oh, well, that was almost the exact same time as he did prior to that. But those rumble strip, oh, that was actually Riera who was warming up his tires. But he was so hard on the rumbles. You saw the car jump a little bit. So, but that was spectacular. I got to give him that. I got to give credit to Josh Mills to being aggressive like that on the rumble strips. And Riera with his 109.1, I think now has nothing to gain or nothing to lose as well, just to go on it. So can he go under the 109 mark? I wish he can. Arriving at the hairpin, this is such a quick lap. This is incredible. This is not a long race. Going fast. Last stretch. Look, very different from Mills. He didn't touch the sausages. That's the different. So 109.138. That's his best lap, and that was really close to his previous lap, so he did not improve by much. And the quali is done, but we still have some drivers, I presume, that are finishing their laps. I'm trying to look at that on track. Is there anybody finishing a hot lap here? Maybe Glenn Cooper. Not sure. No, he's not going fast at all. So, yep. All right, so I think we're good. So in first position for this start, Argenis Riera, great laps, much spectacular, followed by Josh Mills in second position. So our two main protagonists still head-to-head in this race. Zeke Montero, our favorite ringer, in third position. Elise Tape, great lap from Tape, fourth position. Relegated Janos Magasrevi in fifth position, so Magasrevi not far behind. Jean-Pierre Lalancette for the Red Bull team in sixth position. Glenn Cooper in seventh position, followed by Bill Worrell in eighth. Sean Higgins in ninth position, Jacobo Cardoso in 10th, and then for 11th, Tony Mitsales, Ricardo Senor in 12th position, Jeff Hoppenheim in 13th, Cliff Van Leeuward in 14th position, Stefan Broderson in 16th, Thomas Shepard, and Captain John Cook in the 17th position. That wraps up our 17 drivers for the order for this race. For those, I don't know if you guys saw the onboard or the last chicane with Mills and or Riera, but the way they negotiated it, Mills was giving all he had in order to, try to get that lap. He had a good banker, but when he negotiated the chicane, he was hard on we'll call it the turtles or the sausages. It's the yellow part of the rumble strip, just after the rumble, that is a bit thicker, and it can make you jump. So as our drivers are coming back on track for the warm-up, that really propelled him, and this is actually a reason why the drivers are hitting the wall of champions. So that probably cost him a few tenths, and in that regard, he didn't improve on his previous time, because this time was almost exactly the same by a few thousandths of a second. So we saw Riera negotiating the same curve, but the same chicane, but just on the rumbles, not on the sausages or the yellow turtles. Let's put it that way. So that's where he got more, just a little tad of his times, because he was actually owning that lap pretty well. So Riera's in control, but we never know. We saw some stuff in the strategies in the other race, especially in Imola, where Riera messed up his strategy and Mills took advantage of that. So there might be something different with the tires also in this race. So this is going to be a 70 lap race, like we said. The tire specs are C3 to C5, which are the softest of the tire compounds. We got 17 drivers. So our drivers not here tonight are Juan del Castillo, Otto Acosta, Richard Walcott, and Richard Haney are not here. But Richard Haney is replaced by Zeke Montero. Zeke Montero wasn't here last race, but that was the only race he missed so far. So still in the warm-up, 3 minutes 30 seconds to go. Our drivers will go around and try to try to starts, testing, and everything. And there's another fun fact about Gilles Villeneuve. People, when he was driving, thought he was crazy because let's say he was starting third on the grid. In the warm-ups, and in the quality session, he was stopping on the third position on the grid, and he was doing burnouts. Of course, now we know better. We all know he was putting some rubber on the track in order to improve his starting. But back in the day, people were clueless, and they were like, "What is he doing? Why is he doing burnouts on his starting spot?" But guess what? It was helping him getting a better start. It was totally legit back then. 2 minutes 30 to go on this warm-up. We saw McLaren hit the wall, so fortunately, since there's a little reset there, he's not going to suffer from much damage. But I want to remember our viewers that this is a spec series. Even though you got different cars and different teams, it's not exactly like the real Formula One championship. All these cars are on the same level, same mechanical level, although they can choose their own setups. So this is sometimes where it makes a difference. Some people can have a better setup or better tuners, but also we heard it from Matt Hartley the other day. It's not because you have a good setup that you will automatically be good at it, because some people are taking advantage of having setups from others, but it doesn't fit their driving style. So this is another thing, and it is like that on every platform. RFactor, GT, like we do. Sometimes we share setups for GT racing, and some people prefer it loose, tight, whatever. So it's always up to you drivers. And I highly encourage. I highly recommend to our viewers that are not into, not doing sim racing, just get into it. Try it at a friend's, grab a wheel if they have it, and try to, just try the game, because it's such a fun thing to do, sim racing. It provides adrenaline rushes, and it's way less expensive than real racing, and it gives you goosebumps. So, and in that regard, I told you viewers a few weeks ago that I'm going to have a new screen. Well, I have my new screen now, and I will be testing that game in the following week for the first time, and I'm really looking forward to try RFactor. And maybe before the next races, I will have a little onboard for you to describe the track. So I'm going to try to improve the content as well for you guys that are really appreciated to come here. So let's go see on the live who's here, because so far people have been quiet. We got my friend Darren Brady, the Slender Churro. What's up, Churro? I'm happy to see you here, man. It's Canadian Grand Prix, my home race, so I'm happy to see you. We usually have Josh Mills Love right here. Josh Mills' girlfriend, she's always like providing us with nice information, and so we're waiting on people to bring their comments and entertain me, because I'm still, I'm alone tonight, so I like company. I'm not a solitaire guy. So the warm-up is over, and the drivers will place themselves on the grid soon. Remember, there's going to be a warm-up lap. There's not going to be rain. There's no rain in the weather forecast. Although last weekend, the Canadian Grand Prix, there was rain. I wish there would have been more rain. Well, I mean, rain for longer, because we saw a nice strategy the Haas car, which are usually very slow, they decided to take full wets, and it was actually the good bet. They gained a lot of position, and if the rain would have stayed like it was at that time, pouring just at that level, the Haas could have, really got far with that strategy. But after one or two pit stops, maybe the order would have been different. But when you take advantage of these wets, and if it rains for a long time, you can keep a set of wet like that for quite some times, and they're not wearing fast when there's rain. So still awaiting on the drivers to get on the grid and do their warm-up lap. Who do we have here? We got TNR Vince. Hey, what's up, Vince? Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, well, it's fun to broadcast. It's fun to watch these races. I don't know if you saw one of these races so far. This has been a good season because I haven't seen you on the live yet. But I don't know if you know these drivers, but we got a lot of fast drivers here. The two fastest drivers are, of course, Mills and Riera. These guys are just like in another world, or what we call aliens when we play Gran Turismo. But Zig Montero, who's replacing drivers in different teams since the start of the season. Let me get back at him. Zig Montero is 9th in the championship, and I think he missed 1 or 2 races. Well, he scored 0 points in the first and the fifth, and he missed the last race. But for a ringer to be able to be 9th position, he's just a replacement. This is quite nice. So they should be starting in a few seconds now. It's 21:30, if I'm not mistaken, 21:36 on my clock. This race will go very fast. I can tell you that. 70 laps, 1 minute 10, plus 1 minute 12, 13 average probably, because now they're doing like 15s and 12 depending on the tire compound. That's the time they're putting down right there in Montreal. So Montreal, as we said, been on the calendar for quite some time now. I think there was a few years where they didn't come because of contractual mishaps, but drivers love that track. This is a great event. Canada, even though we still have a Canadian driver on the grid, even if we don't have one, there's a lot of history in Formula One. So we need to keep that race around, and I think there's a contract up to still a few years to come. And I really doubt that this race will be off calendar anytime soon. So the drivers are in their pit boxes, and I don't know what's happening. They're supposed to come out and race for us. We don't want a snooze fest like we had in Monaco 2 weeks ago. Oh, there they are, finally. Getting out of the pit, placing themselves on the grid. There's going to be a short warm-up lap. We got 18 drivers. So Mr. Richard Walcott, which was doubtful to race, is actually here. So he will be starting from the rear, of course, because he didn't qualify. And the warm-up lap is on. Well, yeah, when you do sim racing and you don't know if you're going to be able to do your race, even though you don't qualify, if you can do your race starting from the back, it's always a consolation. You don't want to miss your race. If you miss your quali, it's unfortunate, but if you're able to do the race, it's always nice. And if you're fast, you can also have fun just to, come from the rear to the front. Oh, okay. So Vince watched a couple, but he was quiet. Well, nice. So you know our drivers, and you know the drill. Vince from the TNR, the Turbo Nation Racing Team. Our producer, Jas, is a TNR guy, too. I'm not a TNR guy, so these guys are my adversaries. But there's a lot of respect. And this is where my screen cuts because my producer just cuts me. The fun thing with our community too is that even though we're from different teams, every now and then we regroup and we do some events that we become teammates, like the Intercontinental, some endurance race. So that's what's fun about sim racing. You can do whatever you want, and even if you're a team, you can team up with other people and create new friendships and partnerships. So I got a little lag here myself. Let's hope it's not gonna last. Everyone's placing on the grid. I'm gonna be looking at Riera's car. Usually the first and second corner here are quite hot. Lights will be on soon. First light, second, third, fourth, fifth. Oh, false start by Josh Mills, and the race is on. But we saw Mills having a false start. There might be a penalty coming up here. We'll watch that. 3 wide in the first corner. Riera in first position. 2 wide at the second corner between the Red Bull and the Haas. But so far, no crashes. Already in the single file. I'm looking right here in the middle of the track, middle of the pack, sorry. There's no side-by-side racing so far. So everybody behaving, but at the rear there's a lot of people close to each other, so we might see some overtakings. Coming back to the front, Riera is already a few car lengths in front. And Mills has Montero right behind him with the soft compound tires, so he's going to be under attack right now. So Riera, Mills, Montero, Magasrevi, and Tate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After 1 lap already. Oh, and whoa! Josh Mills almost lost it at the exit of the last chicane near the wall of champions. So he was almost on the list of champions that we saw there. And Zeke Montero is under attack by Janos Magasrevi, but Montero, according to what I had, is on the soft compound, but we have seen in the previous races that sometimes the tire compound is not showing accurately for the first or 2 laps. But it looks like Riera's on the mediums, as well as Mills. Montero would be on the soft compound, and I think we can bang this now. Magasrevi on the mediums. What about Tape? Tape on the mediums as well. So just Zeke Montero took the soft compound in the top 5 so far. What about La Lancette? So same thing here. And we got, trying to see, Bill Worrell is followed by Sean Higgins right now. Ferrari versus Williams, and Sean Higgins passing. Tape and La Lancette also close to each other. So well done by Sean Higgins. And wow, Stephen Brotherson passing right here. Cliff Van Leeuwart's passing Stephen Brotherson turn 1. Nicely done. Oh, and the Red Bull, the AlphaTauri car almost losing it. And they're side by side. The Ferrari will have the inside on the next corner. What will happen here? Nope, the AlphaTauri kept his position. So Bill Worrell and Jacobo Cardoso still fighting here, close to each other. And there's a fight for actually not finishing last. Oh, there's a car smoking at the rear. There's the Haas, and the car was smoking. So yeah, you see, he's overheating. He's overheating. That's Thomas Shepard. He has to get out of the slipstream. Otherwise, he will blow his engine. Bill Worrell and Cardoso. Cardoso showing his nose, but he's going to lose a little bit of time here. And we saw Bill Worrell in other races. He's a good, he plays good defense. That's something he can really manage. So Zig Montero and Magas Revi close to each other, and can Montero bring the fight to Josh Mills? That's the question here. Riera already leaving the pack. Woof, okay, that's a nice first lap. There was a few fight here, so I'm keeping an eye on Josh Mills and Zeke Montero, because Mills is on the medium compound, Montero's on the soft. So technically, with the times he has put in quali, he should be able to bring a fight to him. Brotherson and Cardoso for 12th position back there. They're close to each other. Oh, and Oppenheim, Van Leeuward, Cook, Walcott, these 4 drivers all together, and Thomas Shepard still overheating. I wouldn't be surprised if his engine blows up. There's almost 3 wide at the exit of the last hairpin, and he really has to go into fresh air. And they're too wide. It's impossible for him to find fresh air. Look at that. I know it's for last position, but this Haas car, it will blow up soon. Zeke Montero and Janos Magasrevi close to each other, and Mills is not far in front, so we might have a 3-way battle for second position. And I'm trying to keep an eye on the rear of the pack here, because they're all close to each other, and we see that smoke every now and then on the Haas car. Okay, so now there's going to be a lot of slipstream here, opportunities between second, third, and fourth. Of course, second position, he's in a good spot, but he could be under attack from the Williams and the Mercedes driver here. Oof. Once again on the little turtles on the side of the track, and Janos Magasrevi will grow some impatience here. He's on Zig Montero's tail. Montero with the soft compound, now not really taking advantage of that right now, so I wonder what's going on with that. And Jean-Pierre Lancette and Elise Tate close to each other as well. You know, if second, third, and fourth are making themselves lose time respectively, maybe fifth and sixth will invite themselves to the party. So Tape and Lalancette, I think we have seen these two drivers going at it in the previous race in Monaco, if I'm not mistaken. So Lalancette negotiating the last turn. He will be in the slipstream of Elise Tape. Can he slipstream through? I think he will try something, but Tape defending. Tape defending. Can Lalancette put it on? Yeah, okay, nicely done, easy. That was quite easy. But oh, he almost lost it at the corner exit. So Tape on the attack as well. Can Tape over? Oh, okay, he showed up his nose, trying to push Lalancette to a mistake. Didn't happen, but that was fun to watch. Woo, a lot of things happening at the front here. So Lalancette and Tape going at it. And in the meantime, Josh Mills being pursued by Zeke Montero, and Magas Revi growing impatient behind Zeke Montero. That's what I'm going to watch right now. The Mercedes driver hunting the Williams driver. This should happen. Maybe now if he... But Montero will have the DRS on Mills. So the attacker might become the attackee. Nothing happening. getting closer to each other. So, I mean, this is a long race. Still 72 laps to go. Oh, wow. Deporting on the right for the Mercedes driver. So we will have the outside at turn 1 and not even a challenge here. I thought that Montero would, you know, might be keeping the inside line and have the outside line on the second turn. What a great fast track it is. All right, so now Magasrevi, or sorry, Magasrevi can try to bring the fight to Josh Mills. Riera already 5 seconds ahead. I mean, for Riera, if he hits his marks, I mean, he's golden. He's already, if he doesn't make any mistake, he will take a good option on this race already. But it's really early, and we do wish there would be more breaking news during the race in order to have some fighting going on. So Tape and Cooper close to each other. Montero, Magasrevi, Brotherson and Cardoso at the rear. So Jacobo Cardoso, both guys at the airpin. I think oh wow, okay, so the Mercedes driver is on the soft compound, Cardoso that is, and Brotherson's on the hard. And he took it wide, so the Mercedes driver went all the way left and almost brushed the wall in order to pass on a straight line. So I don't know if he got distracted or if that was the plan, but that was a bit risky. Jeff Hoppenheim and Cook side by side. Something might have happened because I think Hoppenheim maybe brushed the wall of champion. Yeah, looks like he might have a little problem here. He might have hit the wall. I'm not sure about it. They're still following each other quite close. Tape and Cooper. McLaren driver. Fun driver to watch since the start of the season. He has the DRS. Can he make it on the inside of the last turn? Yes, sir. Oh, wow. Contact between the Haas car and the McLaren. So Tape and Cooper. Does Tape have damage? I think he does. Not sure about that, but there might be some damage on the front wing of the Haas. You know, has yet to be confirmed. Not sure about it, but they did touch to each other front to back. So both on the medium compound, and Tape not. Oh wow, he's in the grass, so there might be a little downforce issue. Still not sure about that because I don't have that information on the telemetry. Staying very close to the McLaren driver, so that, you know, I think he might not have any issues. It might have been just overheating his temper. Oh wow, Tape lost it. Tape lost it at the hairpin. He was so close to the McLaren. He could have had it on the slipstream, but unfortunately he lost the rear wheels and almost spun the car. You know, just drifted a little bit, but that make him lose around 2 to 3 seconds. And this is it for that. Now Higgins and Worrell. Higgins just passed Worrell on the straight, exchanged the position outside the wall of champions. We missed that a little bit, but it happened on the straight, so we saw the end of it. Cardoso and Hoppenheim, both cars drag racing at the last straight, side by side. Who's gonna yield? Okay, so the Mercedes going into pits. So what is it all about? Okay, so he's got the soft compound. It might be because of that. The soft compound lasting 11 laps. That would be something feasible. Now Josh Mills is in no man's land, creating gap in front of Magasrevi. Zig Montero and Magasrevi, breathing space between the two. The closest people on track right now are Sean Higgins and Bill Worrell, and Worrell and Higgins, 9 and 8. And yes, there's going to be a slipstream here, and there will be a pass. Guaranteed. The Ferrari's got the slipstream. DRS open. Gonna oh well, I said guaranteed, but I stand corrected. I really thought that the Ferrari would have more mojo on the straight line and take advantage of that. But you know, no risk to take. If he's on, if Worrell's on Sean Higgins' tail, he can set himself up for the next lap. No worries about that. Cook and Hoppenheim at the rear, close to each other. Unfortunate for Tape and Cooper, but Tape, good driver. I think he can bounce back to that. And Higgins and Worrell still the battle, which I'm following right now. They're arriving at the hairpin right now, and oh, late on the brake, the Ferrari follows. Good relaunch and a little skid from Higgins, so that's going to give Bill Worrell a nice opportunity here. And yes, they're side-by-side drag racing, and it is done for the Ferrari driver. Nicely done. Now can Higgins bounce back and retake that position? So they've been going at it for quite some time right now. And both drivers on the soft compound. Forgot to mention that. So this is the fast part, really technical. You can easily brush a wall and say adios to your race. And yes, the Williams is on the Ferrari's tail. The difference between both of them is about 3 to 4 tenths every now and then, depending on where they at. And I think the Ferrari missed, well, negotiated the curve a little slower than the Williams. Oh no, the Williams spun exactly like Tape did. And this is Sean Higgins John Deering his way through the grass. Then again, the lawnmower man did it. Unfortunate. That's going to be costly for Sean Higgins. So the two Williams driver next to each other. What happened to Montero? I think Montero went in the pits. That's what happened. So Montero already made his pit stop. That explains why he's in the mid pack. But we were looking at the fight, so we missed that pit stop for Zeke Montero. So Tony Mitsalis, Sean Higgins. So we got a little train right here between 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's interesting. We like trains. So the Haas car is slowing down to let the leaders go. Thomas Shepard's already a lap down. Higgins and Mitsalis. I think it's because the tire of Sean Higgins, the soft compound, they're done. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in the pit right now. And he's staying on the left. Yeah, because he has to go to the pits. Oh, what? Oh, crash! Crash between the two cars! Sean Higgins was going in the pits, full speed, and the AlphaTauri took the racing line back in order to negotiate the curve. That was actually his right to do so, but the Williams had no intention of slowing down at the same spot. So that's unfortunate for the AlphaTauri driver. I think that was that Tony Mitsalis? Let me see. I think that was him. He got hair in the rear and went on his merry way. I forgot to mark the replay. So sorry about that. I got to be more sharp on this, but I don't know if you guys saw that. That was box office. Incredible. So for the viewers, if you didn't see that, what happened? Sean Higgins on the soft compound after the hairpin, while we're watching the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri fight it out. So the AlphaTauri, yeah, he's going into pits right now. So Tony Mitsalis will go into pits. I believe he has damage on the car. I'll be watching that. So yeah, the AlphaTauri overtook the Williams. He got back the racing line, but the Williams was going into pits, so he had no intention of slowing down at the same spot, because he doesn't have to. Usually they brake later when they go into pits. And yeah, Tony Mitsalis is repairing damage right now, and he's out of the pits. And Sean Higgins is back in the pits after that big incident. I think he might be retiring the car right here. What about Higgins? We're watching it, but I think, although he might be just repairing some, yeah. Okay, Riera's out of the pits. Higgins is back. So Mills is leading the race. Riera's out of the pits in second position. Wow, viewers, there's a lot of things happening right now. Woo. All right, so that race delivers. We already had more action than in Monaco. I can tell you that. That's not a good comparison. I should just stop doing this. And Cliff Van Leeuwen and Tony Mitsalis fighting at the rear, the two teammates. Bill Worrell and Zeke Montero fighting. So in order, Williams fighting with Worrell, but that's not Higgins. They're sliding it. So there's a hard compound versus a soft, but the Williams is in the Ferrari's tail, and yeah, he's got the slipstream. This should be easy peasy for the Williams. Waving a little bit, wiggling a little bit under braking. I think he lost his balance, perhaps. So Tate, Montero, Worrell, a lot of things happening here. Okay, it might have been a pit stop for Tate, so that's why he's going in the order. And the two AlphaTauris fighting it out for 14th position. Tate and Ricardo Sr. and Elise Tate. Oh wow, at the pit exit, close to each other. Well done. Cliff Van Leeuwen and Tony Mitsalis. So Mitsalis, unfortunate for him, he's got the incident, but he's taking back one position right there. And Mills and Riera. Well, Mills is leading. There's a Merc behind him, but that's not. That's a probably. Is it Cardoso? Yeah, that's Cardoso right there. So not a factor. So Mills has yet to pit. That's why he's leading the race so far. Riera on the hard compound will probably do one more pit stop before the end of the race. Well, that crash was crazy, but I think I've seen that happen in real life. You know, Montreal, someone going to the pit. I think it happened to Lance Stroll, if I'm not mistaken. Like, just hitting someone hitting the rear of the other car just because he was going faster and going into the pits. So that's one of the danger that this pit entrance provides. Now Cooper and Magus Revi close to each other. This is a fight that I would love to see getting closer. And what's the difference? Like, they're in the second. They're in, oh, okay, no, but Cooper and Magus Revi. So Cooper in the pits, Magus Revi passing. Not for now. There might be an undercut or an overcut. We never know. And, okay, Zeke Montero. Okay, so Cooper not a factor. I'm seeing Cooper having these battles, these virtual battles, but this is not what's happening. So we're in a pit window right now. A lot of movement, a lot of traffic in the pits, a lot of movement in the grid. Cliff Van Leeuwen, Jacobo Cardoso. So Cardoso in Van Leeuwen's draft for 14th position. Not quite close enough. Looking at this battle right now. What about Cook? Oh, Cook's in the pits. So John Cook has retired the car, unfortunately. So that's our first DNF of the evening. Out of 18 drivers, 17 left. Lap 21 out of 70. Cliff Van Leeuwen and Jacobo Cardoso for 14th position. That's the battle that we're watching right now. This is the best thing that we have on track right now. And wow, can he pass there? I have seen that. If you guys want to watch a really, really good race on this track, go see Formula Atlantic 1993 Montreal with Jacques Villeneuve and David Empringham going at it. Yeah, Jacques Villeneuve, 1997 Formula One champ, while he was driving for players in Formula Atlantic in 1993. You need to see that. This is a great show. So the two cars passing a back marker. We got the Aston Martin here. So what about Riera passed Mills back because Mills went in the pits. So Josh Mills is on the soft compound. Can he bring the fight back to Riera? So he's 9 seconds behind. We'll keep an eye on that. So how much Mills can make up on Riera with a different compound? Mills is on the soft compounds and Riera's on the hards. There should be a difference. Josh Mills right now is 3/10 faster on his last lap. Lalancette and Walcott. Alright, so now that the pit stop have been done, lots of different compounds on the track. Well, you know what? I'll go through that in a sec. We're going to have a few fights here. So Cliff Van Leeuwen is in Jacobo Cardoso slipstream. He's pointing his nose, but wisely waiting on this one. Lalancette and Walcott. So Lalancette a little late on the brake at the hairpin. He's gonna have a good relaunch. Can he make it with the slipstream? And oh yeah. Well, that is easy. Okay, that's a back marker. Never mind. Never mind. So Walcott is lurking behind Lalancette, and that Williams was actually probably Sean Higgins. Yeah, that was him. So my bad for thinking there was a battle there. Sean Higgins, gentleman move here, just staying out of the battle here. And Richard Walcott, not too close for Lalancette, but getting closer. Now look at Josh Mills. He's 8.6, so he was 8 seconds flat behind Riera. So that's 1 second better than the previous lap, gap-wise. Now 7.5, so it's just fluctuating between 8 and 7 right now. But we want to see Josh Mills with the soft compound bring the fight to Riera, because at the end, we don't know what might happen. Would be fun to see a fight between Argenis Riera and Josh Mills because of different tire strategy. That would be bunkers. So Ricardo Sr. and Bill Worrell. So let's go through the tires right now. Riera's on the he's on the hard compounds. Mills negotiating a bat marker. Mills is on the soft compounds. Janos Magasrevi on the medium. Zeke Montero is on the hards. Jean-Pierre Lalancette for the Red Bull team is on the mediums. Richard Walcott for Ferrari is on the hard compounds. Let me confirm that right away. Yes, it is that. Glenn Cooper for the McLaren team. Haven't talked about him a lot this race again, but these guys, you know, the McLaren drivers they're always here. But I think the other McLaren drivers is not here tonight, so that's going to cost him championship-wise. Elise Tape on the hard tires in 8th position. Ricardo Sr. with the second Aston Martin driver. Good 8th position, good 9th position, sorry, right now. Got to keep it, but he's under attack by Bill Worrell. So while I'm talking about his tire compound, we'll keep an eye on this battle. Ferrari and Aston. Look at that. So the Ferrari will be patient here. Just waiting. Doesn't need to push the issue. Arriving at the hairpin. Look at that. Taking a little different line here. Good relaunch. He's got the slipstream. Easy. He's almost too close. Now he's got DRS open. Not even a problem. Oh, but the Ricardo Sr. is in the pits. So let's keep going. Stefan Broderson with the Alfa Romeo. I think he's on the medium compound because I saw a red rim. Yeah, that's the red rim, and that's... Wait up. Okay, no, that's the hard compound. Oof, that's a lot of colors. Same thing for his teammate, Jeff Oppenheim. Ricardo Sr. getting out of the pits on the hards. Tony Mitsalis on the hard compounds as well. Jacobo Cardoso mediums. Cliff Van Leeuward with hards. Sean Higgins hards. Thomas Shepard. Woof. So there was almost a crash here. And that wraps up. Thomas Shepard is on the medium compound. All right. So Josh Mills... Something happened here because he's 9 seconds behind Argenis Riera. So unfortunately, his last lap was 7/10 slower than Argenis Riera. That is unfortunate for Mills. So not a lot of battles right now. Everybody's in no man's land. The smaller gap that we have on track is 1 second, 0.3 between Cardoso and Mitsalis. Lap 27 out of 70. You're watching the SimRacingHub F1 2024 Championship on GTCQ TV. Feel free to talk in the live if you want to chat about last weekend race. If you want to predict our winner. There we got Cliff Van Leeuward in the pits right now. And I'm looking at Zeke Montero right now in 4th position. He's 2.7 or 3 seconds behind Janos Magasrevi. And we know that Montero can be quite aggressive sometimes on the driving, and he can gain some time at the end and make something happen. You know, we saw him attack at the end with, you know, better tires and gain positions at the end of I think it was Shanghai. We really showcased his talent. So I wish we could have another showcase of that talent tonight if it comes down to it. So no big fight, but Mitsalis is in the 1 second behind Ricciardo Sr. So AlphaTauri versus Aston Martin. Cardoso not far behind. Lurking in the shadows like a spider ready to attack. This is the only 3 drivers within a short distance of each other. And Josh Mills not taking advantage of these soft tires. This is quite disappointing. He was 7 seconds behind the leader. Now he's 10 seconds behind the leader. So I don't know what happened. He might have cooked his tires. Maybe he got stuck behind back markers. But I mean, I don't think you can justify a 3 second loss just by the back markers, except if you entangle with them. So let's have a quiz here. You cannot look on Google, but who won the 2010 Canadian Grand Prix? Ricciardo Sr. and Tony Mitsalis close to each other. So this is a fight that is unfolding before our eyes right here for 12th position. We got Thomas Shepard and Sean Higgins as well. Okay, no, never mind. Higgins in the pits. So we got 2 DNFs. Sean Higgins, the lawnmower man, unfortunately went in the grass again this time around in Montreal. Didn't hit a groundhog, but you know that's a thing that can happen here. This is groundhog season, and the AlphaTauri is following the Aston Martin of Ricciardo Sr. Has been following him for quite some time. Now he's right behind him, going to take advantage of the slipstream. I think, okay, that's a good relaunch for the Aston, though. Look at that. And on the live, TNR Vince said that he switched to iRacing on his part. He's having a blast. So we won't see him on the Gran Turismo platform. I'm going to try RFactor soon. And you know what? I might try iRacing later because I just got a new screen for my sim and I can put a computer now on it, which I couldn't before. So we're still having that fight from Ricciardo Sr. and Tony Mitsalis. Really close to each other. This is what we're watching right now. Thank you for the action, by the way. Aston Martin versus AlphaTauri. Ricciardo Sr. really needs to score points to help his teammate retain the first position in the team championship. So both drivers still close to each other, arriving at the hairpin. But no, there's a few car lengths. So unless the Aston Martin struggles on the relaunch, oh whoa, he brushed the wall. Aston Martin brushed the wall at the corner exit of the hairpin. So that's gonna cost him a lot. He might have damage. And look at the AlphaTauri coming like a mad train. Woohoo! On the right side, and there we go. But what happened to the Aston Martin? That was unnecessary. I just can't put my finger on it. Incredible. So Ricciardo Sr. and Tony Mitsalis, they switched position. It's fun to say switched positions. And Magas Revi and Zeke Montero. So something happened to Magas Revi and Montero is right next to him. Nope, that's not what I saw. Sorry. Magas Revi has been let pass by his teammate. That's what happened. So Cardoso let his teammate Magasrevi pass easy. And actually Montero for Williams this time around, because sorry, Montero was driving for every team this year. So I've seen him for Mercedes, I've seen him for all the teams for that matter almost. So I mean 6 or 7 teams so far. So I thought he was the other Mercedes because it looked like the times were close to each other. So let's forget about that. Tony Vitalis and Ricardo Sr. are still fighting. So can Sr. get that place back that he lost because he went really wide at the hairpin, kissed the wall with his front left. No damage. Doesn't seem like it. Doesn't look like it. So no fight there anymore. What about Zeke and Janos Magasrevi? So 1 second separating the two. If he's in the 1.2, I think, at the detection, so he won't have the DRS this time around. But let's hope that Montero can reduce the gap to Janos Magasrevi to under 1 second in order to get that that open wing. Metsalis and Senior. Okay, no, they're 1.5 apart. So we're back in the no man's land territory. Oh, there's a Mercedes right here. Is it Magasrevi? Magasrevi lost it. Magasrevi lost it. Montero just went past. So Magasrevi. So I marked a replay event. Magasrevi lost it at the chicane. That was unfortunate for him. Can he bounce back from that? Lost the car a little bit at the S's. I wouldn't say the chicane, but it's more of the S's. That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was turn 6. And he's going in the pits. So what's happening here? Is that a case of tires? So Magasrevi in the pits. And he's back on the hard compound. All right. So yeah, viewers, you see that tire wear is an issue. And look, he's getting out of the pit side by side with, I think, Glenn Cooper in the McLaren team. So Glenn Cooper has warm tires, but Magasrevi has new tires. They're on the same compound, so I wouldn't be surprised after a little bit of heating up that Magasrevi would be attacking Glenn Cooper here. So we'll keep an eye on this. So the Merc behind the McLaren, he will have the DRS right here. Ooh, open wing. And there you go. Yeah, that should do it. Will Cooper protect? Not sure. Oh, yeah, he's defending side by side. Oh, my God, he's on the turtle. Oof, okay. He committed to that defense. You know, nice try from Cooper. But I wonder, you know, he committed to the defense, but he had to yield and go to the turtle, almost losing balance, and Magasrevi went past. So nicely done by Magasrevi, and nicely thought by Cooper. Let's put it that way. So no more battles right away, but Cooper not far from Magasrevi. I wonder in the pit strategy where they at, because Magasrevi just made, I think, his second pit stop, if I'm not mistaken, at lap 36. So that is like exactly half race. So there should be another pit stop coming later. And I mean for both teams, for sure. So Ricardo Sr. 1 second behind Tony Mitsalis for 11th. If Senior can bounce back and get into points, you know, he's 2 positions away for points. And yeah, I see Cooper struggling with the rear tires. Looks on my screen like he's sliding a little bit with his hards on lap 37. So I'm wondering if a pit stop is coming in. Josh Mills in the pits, switching his soft tires and going back on the soft again. Okay. So he's even warming up his tires on his out lap. So we have yet to see Josh Mills' girlfriend on the chat, because she usually provides us with insights. Now Josh Mills is zigzagging a little bit, like he's warm-upping his tires. He might have put a cross on the victory, and he might just want to bang the fastest laps till the end of the race, because he's way ahead of Zeke Montero. Well, not that much right now, but with the pit stops he will be, and way behind Riera with the pit stops. So I wonder what's the plan, but you know, behind Josh Mills' strategy, because he started. Let me see. He started on the mediums, then took the soft, retook the softs. That is quite interesting. It's really the reverse. Riera is still in the hard compound. So 30 seconds, Josh Mills is behind Riera. Can Josh Mills maybe create an undercut with these soft tires, just reducing the gap and closing that, so Riera has nothing to show for after that pit stop? Because look, he started at 30 seconds, he's 28 seconds now behind Riera, and we remember the difference was around 10 seconds. So Riera hasn't pitted yet, still going at it. He's doing a 1:13. Okay, so 1:13.1 was the last lap from Argenis Riera. Josh Mills is a 1:15, but that's an out lap, so that doesn't count. Now we're gonna have a mark here, and let's see what's the difference. So 1:13.4. So even there, look, Mills is 31 seconds. So something might have happened again, because he was 28 seconds. Now he's 30 seconds behind the leader. So, oh no, okay, no, this is bad information. Now, yeah, now, okay, I'm looking at Oppenheim and Tony Mitsalis, but I said that Josh Mills had the soft compound. I was misled by the game. It showed to me a red stripe. Now it's white, so I know he's on the hard compound, and that explains maybe the times. So that's what I explained at the beginning of the race. Sometimes you have like an information about the tire compound, but it's not exactly that. And it takes sometimes around a whole lap, maybe a lap and a half to, you know, to straighten up. And Oppenheim and Mitsalis, they're fighting. Mitsalis in Oppenheim's slipstream. He's showing his nose, you know, patiently waiting. Clever, but Oppenheim went quite wide at the Wall of Champions, almost kissed it. And Walcott and Magasrevi, same pattern right here. Montero in the pit. But I'm looking at Magasrevi and Walcott right now. Can Magasrevi try at turn number 1? Oh, nicely done. Patiently waiting, just setting himself up for the next section. So that's what I would have done. Patiently waiting, just negotiating. Tony Mitsalis and Oppenheim at the hairpin. There should be a slipstream advantage here for Mitsalis on Oppenheim. He's in DRS range. So we'll be watching that. Also Magasrevi and Walcott. Okay, didn't happen between the two there, but Magasrevi and Walcott. Magasrevi being right on the right side of Walcott. Yep. Where's Montero? Okay. And Mitsalis, Oppenheim still fighting. They're close to each other. Keeping an eye on them. This is for the last point spot. This is for 10th place. Tony Mitsalis, and we got Bill Worrell in tape. Okay, no, this is a pit situation. Never mind. Because in my telemetry, I see little red marks on the fights, and where people are in the pit, they're getting close to each other. So I see like fights getting on, but it's not really that. It's just somebody passing another guy in the pits. The AlphaTauri in the Alfa Romeo's tail. On Alfa Romeo's tail, I'm sorry. And he's in DRS. Deporting on the right side. And oh, okay, no, but the Alfa Romeo, it looked like he missed his brake, but no, it was actually going in the pits. So Oppenheim in the pits, and it is what it is. So that prevented us from a fight here or a legit pass, but it had to happen. So now that Alcet is in 3rd position, but I think he has yet to do his second pit stop. Zeke Montero in 4th position. That is, I think, legit. I think he was in 3rd prior to all these this pit sequence. We're at lap 42 out of 70. So a little less than 30 laps to go here. Argenis Riera getting out of the pits. So Mills just negotiating the last chicane, so Riera has a lot of breathing space. Not even a factor. Now Zeke Montero has to fend off a back marker that has the draft, but I don't think the back marker, which I think is Ricardo Sr., yes, is that he, you know, gentlemanly decided to lift and, you know, let him go. Because you're not going to fight somebody if you're more than a lap down or a lap down. Oh, Jean-Pierre Lalancette and Zeke Montero. There's going to be a fight here. So they're in the technical section, the S's, and Montero, whoa, late on the brake, really aggressive. That's what we're watching. Nicely done by Zeke Montero. I told you earlier, Zeke Montero, really aggressive driver. And look, there the Alpha Tauri is going on the side, just doesn't want to be a part of this. And now Montero is deporting on the right side. Will be passing, taking back the racing line, hard on the brakes, negotiating the chicane, and nicely done by Zeke Montero on Jean-Pierre Lalancette. Nice pass for the Williams on the Red Bull. Now can the Red Bull bounce back? I sincerely doubt it. Montero is he's on a steady pace. Let's go on board with Zeke Montero right here and look at him. I can just appreciate the driving from Zeke Montero here. And Lalancette's not far behind. Negotiating the chicane. Well done by Montero. And Lalancette is, I think, in DRS range. So let's see. Can he open? Yeah, he opened the wing. So that's gonna bring him closer to Montero. Not quite in position to overtake, but still, you know, that's what you want. If you can grab that second and get in the slipstream in order to reduce the gap. And behind him, let's see, there's Janos Magasrevi, but he's just coming to that back marker, so that is not a fight. So I'm looking for fights on track. So far, it's still Lalancette and Montero that are the closest to each other. You got Broderson and Oppenheim, but no, they're not close enough to each other. That's unfortunate. Our next race, people, will be at Red Bull Ring on June 27th. Same hour. This is the Österreich-Ring. No, this is the Red Bull Ring. This is the Austrian Grand Prix. Very fun track. Austria. I can tell you that. I mean, it always delivers lots of action. So very nice what they did with that track and the race it provides. So Broderson and Oppenheim, they could get closer to each other in order to give us a little show. Riera and Mills in both in no man's land. And we have 24 laps to go, 24, 25 laps to go, depending on who's there or where they are. We still have 7 drivers on the lead lap. But I think at the end of the race, we might have just 4. It's either 4 or 6, you know, they're really close. We only have 4 on the live right now, but I'm sure some people are watching this race later in the week, so I salute you. For those who were here 2 weeks ago, this is way more interesting, I can tell you that. We have 2 DNFs, Sean Higgins and John Cook. So we had 18 drivers because tonight we were missing Juan del Castillo for surgery, Otto Acosta for traveling. Walcott actually showed up, and he's in 7th position. Started at in last position. So well done by Richard Walcott. Actually, we have to mention that. And Richard Haney replaced by Zeke Montero. So Mitsalis, Senior, Broderson, and Oppenheim. So they're close to each other, but not quite, you know, not exactly super close. And what about Montero and Lalancette? So yeah, Lalancette and the Red Bull will want to bring the fight back to Zeke Montero. But Montero has lots of speed, so Yes, my friends, there's not a lot of fight going on. I think the fight will be between the Alfa Romeo drivers for the 12th position. Now, Jeff Oppenheim on the medium compound is following his teammate Stefan Brotherson, which is also on the medium compound, and he's in DRS range. So we might have that fight to look at right now. And the other Alfa Romeo, the driver behind Oppenheim, I think he decided to go offline in order to cool down his car. And we saw that, I think that was Thomas Shepard at the beginning of the race. His car was overheating a lot. We saw so much smoke that I really thought he was cooking his car. So Tony Mitsalis and Ricardo Sr. are actually close to each other as well. Yeah, not quite there. Alfa Romeos close to each other. We're trying to figure out a good fight to watch right here. All right, now they're really close to each other, so they're in the red on my little telemetry. So maybe next lap. And Cardoso is, Cardoso has a DNF, is in the pits, and he withdraw from the race. Unfortunate for Cardoso, so there's no points for the that Mercedes this time around. Yeah, everybody's in no man's land right now, so we're coming back to that little snooze fest from last week. We want the Alfa Romeo cars to be fighting, but this is not quite happening. Riera is leading on Josh Mills by 14 seconds almost. Zeke Montiel was 28 seconds behind Josh Mills, so Josh Mills could take a set of soft back at the end and maybe bang the fastest lap. Ricardo Sr. and Tony Mitsalis, that's another fight that might be unfolding. But everyone's staying far apart from the others, not even in draft range. We got 3 DNFs now. Jacobo Cardoso, I don't know why we missed it. Might have hit something, might have had a engine problem. Or just decided to withdraw because he was not in the points. And we have seen also drivers just having, health issues, because it looks like it's a tough game to process. Sim racing can sometimes you can feel a little dizzy. It still messes with your brain every now and then. So Ricardo Sr. and Tony Mitsalis, 1.5 seconds away from each other. Well, still no fights. So people on the live, I don't know if you're sleeping, but I'm almost falling asleep myself on my chair. I don't have anybody to talk with me, so it's quite hard to stay focused on that race right here. So I'm trying to see who's that. So Riera is playing with back markers right now. That's not that interesting. Mitsalis and Senior, they're 1.5 apart, so let's wish they are getting closer in order to have a little show right here. 18 laps to go. So there should be other pit stops, and these pit stops will bring some action to the table. Although I do wish it happens. So we need some action here. There was a little more action in Canada last week, I can tell you that. We needed a little bit of rain. That's what we needed today. Rain is always a great equalizer, you know. You can be an average driver, but you can kill on rain. So a 112.2 is the fastest lap by Argenis Riera. Josh Mills is following not far behind with a 112.3. Now, Riera has yet to put soft tires on, if I'm not mistaken. So he did that lap with the medium compounds, or maybe the hards. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the hards. And Mills did that while he's negotiating a back marker, did that with the soft compound. So while the car is getting lighter, whomever comes with the softest compounds will probably bang the fastest lap, and without taking that much risk either. So Brotherson and Hoppenheim still, well, okay, not close to each other. It shows that they're not far from each other, but they're not close to each other. So Riera just negotiated his teammate not being a factor. Now Riera is catching up a lot of back markers, but it's probably people he lapped already. Because within the active drivers, Thomas Shepard is the one. He's actually 3 laps down. So I'm on board with Argenis Riera. No, sorry, Richard Walcott. But now I'm on board with Riera. Sorry. Try to have a little action. So let's see how he negotiates these back markers, because these back markers, although they have to let him pass, they're going to be shown the blue flag. They have a fight of their own. Okay, so nicely done by the AlphaTauri driver here, not being a factor. You see that blue light flashing? This is for the drivers in front of the Aston Martin we're following right now. So one driver went deep. I think that was a mistake and not a let go. And this is quite dangerous right now, because if I may, I mean, it could have ended badly for the Aston Martin drivers trying to negotiate these back markers, and because they have an agenda right there. So we got Jeff Oppenheim and Stephen Brotherson behind Ricardo Sr. So that's a 3-way battle. These cars are quite close to each other right now. So this is the interesting part right now, negotiating another back marker with the AlphaTauri. But that the AlphaTauri is going in between the 2 Alfa Romeos, and looks like Oppenheim will be the one suffering more from that situation. Now Brotherson's right behind Ricardo Sr. Overshooting the chicane. And now Oppenheim's going to take advantage of that. Maybe Brotherson protecting the inside. Oppenheim couldn't take advantage of that. Don't know if there's team orders there, but I think Oppenheim could have taken advantage of that situation a lot more than he did. So no clue on why it was like that. But Oppenheim is now coming back strong behind Brotherson. So let's see, is there going to be a little fight here, or we're just going to see the 2 cars staying put like we saw in the other laps? Still 5 viewers on the live. I don't know if my friend Darren is here. We got Vince from the TNR team. I'm one of the viewers, so I mean that means I got 4 friends online. And show-wise, we still have what? Ricardo Sr. and Tony Gonzalez getting close to each other with 1.5 seconds. Argenis Riera has got the best lap with a 112.2. So there's 14 laps left. And Riera just crossed the start-finish line, coming fast behind the back markers, and he just put a 111.9. So Riera just did the fastest lap with a 111.9, under the 112 mark. This is quite impressive. So now there's an Alfa Romeo with Stefan Broderson chasing Ricardo Sr. for 11th place. And Tony Mitsalis for AlphaTauri team is scoring the last point. He will defend that position with his life. I mean, that's what I would do. Cooper in the pits. Lalancette passing on the start finish straight. So let's see what Cooper's gets for tires. Oh, I think he took the soft compound, but I wouldn't take that for granted because we have been misled before. And we'll see right now, there's a lot of people arriving at turn 1 behind Cooper, but no, that's not a factor. Ricardo Sr. and Stefan Broderson fighting right now. I like the colors on these cars. Oh, wow, Ricardo Sr. on the grass. This is such good racing right now between Broderson and Senior. And Ricardo Senior, he cut through the chicane. So he might have gained an advantage from his mistake right here. So I don't know if there might be a penalty or the steward's going to look at it. There might be like an AI in this game looking at these kinds of behavior if it happens too much, too often. Because he really overshot the S, and in that regard, Broderson could have passed him. So now you got Mitsalis and Senior as well. So we got a three-way fight, almost a four-way fight for 10th position. This is starting to become interesting here, everybody. Zig Montero has the purple first sector right now. So 10, 11, 12, and 13 within 2 seconds from each other. This is what we're watching right now. Look at that train. Who's gonna overtake whom? So the Alfa Romeo behind, he's got the slipstream. Oppenheim's got the slipstream behind Broderson, but I think both are on the DRS. So Oppenheim trying to inside, side by side, but whoa, Broderson shut the door in front of his teammate Oppenheim. Good move. Wow, well done by Broderson on his teammate. Wow, he slammed the door right in his face. That was impressive. Whew. I mean, that could have ended badly. Incredible move here, but they're still going at it. So Ricardo Sr. leading that 4-pack, and you got Tony Mitsalis He's waiting for Senior to make a mistake right here. They're still very close to each other, arriving at the hairpin. This is going to be a DRS festival. Oh no, we got Mitsalis spinning. No, not spinning, but I think he lost the rear a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. And the two Alfa Romeos still going at it. Oppenheim will retry that pass. He tried on his teammate, but both of them still with DRS, so nothing going on here. But look, Brotherson, he hit the wall of champions. Brotherson hit the wall. Stefan Brotherson hit the wall. That was to happen. He had the DRS open, overshot. He overshot the curve, and that's what happened. He really hit the wall badly. That's going to cost him. So Oppenheim took that 12th position. Unfortunate for Brotherson, but he might have misjudged his braking mark here. So Argenis Riera still leading. And Ricardo Sr. and Tony Mitsalis, Jeff Oppenheim, 1 through 3, close to each other. Mostly Sr. and Mitsalis, and now Mitsalis will have the DRS here. Can he take advantage of it and slipstream his way through? Senior protected. I think they touch. They touch. Yeah, there was contact here. Okay, we have to see this again because I marked the replay. But I think Ricardo Senior overprotected his position. Might have overprotected his position, and Tony Mitsalis had nowhere to go. Unfortunate. So there was a yellow in sector 2 at some point. And now we don't have a fight anymore. There might be damage too. So Oppenheim and Mitsalis. What happened with Mitsalis? I think Tony Mitsalis has damage. Because he might have lost the rear and spun at the hairpin because something happened. He lost a lot of ground. Yeah, he's losing control. He's going back into pits. Yeah, he has damage. Look, he lost the rear here, so there is something very, very wrong with that car. He's going to retire right here. So yeah, he's got the worst of that. I think he was just trying something and he got the worst of that situation. Okay, now he's in his pit box. He actually changed his tires and he's coming back on track, so he's not retiring. And look who's got the fastest lap, Mr. Zeke Montero, who went into pits. He's on the hard compounds and he has 111.7. So Zeke Montero with the fastest lap. Who would have thought? I mean, he had good pace all race long. So, but he's 25 seconds behind Mills, who's 26 seconds behind Riera. So I mean, the only thing is that Montero cannot go into pits one more time. Riera and Mills, they might be able to. But you know, if you're leading that race for Riera, I mean, I don't know if you would go to pit just in order to bang that extra point, but he's got plenty of time. I mean, it's not like in real life where you can mess up a pit stop. I think if he goes into pits, he would have all the chances in the world to all the chances in the world to bang that fastest lap. So there is 6 laps left to that race. And Tony Gonzalez retired the car. Tony Gonzalez retired the car, ladies and gentlemen. And that was to be expected. That was unfortunate what happened to Tony Gonzalez right there, but that's a racing incident. Something happened. I think maybe the Aston Martin overprotected. The stewards will look at it. At least that's what I saw, but I might have misread the situation. And there's a spin. That was Bill Worrell. He spun. So he's in 8th position. I think he lost a spot here. And the other Ferrari coming behind, but he's a lap behind. So that's not for position. Ricardo Sr., Stefan Brotherson. But what about Bill Worrell? He's limping. He's going really slow. So does he have damage? Is there something wrong with the tires? Oh yeah, looks like he's not going fast at all. So we're keeping an eye on that. And then we got behind that. So we got Cooper, but Cooper is fighting with a Haas car, but the Haas car is actually a back marker. So I'm trying to figure out who's who here. But Bill Worrell is struggling big time. Yeah, Bill Worrell had to let these drivers go, and Elise Tape is right there behind Cooper. No, they're a lap apart. I think they're 1 position apart, and they are a lap apart. So, okay, this has never happened before. We got 2 guys 1 position apart and 1 lap apart. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 laps to go in this race, which was exciting at some point, but also there was a few parts when it was a little more dead. Everybody in low man's land, but we saw situations unfold and some incidents. Now we got Stefan Brotherson right behind Ricardo Sr., and we saw Sr. defend with aggressivity. Well, he defended aggressively. Let's put it that way. So we don't know what's going to happen. But look, oh wow, he bounced. He just bounced on the sausage and he crashed. I don't know if he hit the wall at the end right there, but Ricardo Sr., something really bad happened to him. He went so strong at the last chicane, and he hit the sausage, and now he's stuck on the side of the track. So Ricardo Sr., let me go on board. He's struggling to bring his car back. I think he's stuck. Yeah, Ricardo Sr. is stuck in the barrier. Okay, now he's bringing his car back. Can he do that? Is he going into pits? Okay, that is interesting. So Ricardo Sr. in the pits might be retiring the car right now. He just jumped on the sausage. That was quite aggressive on the rumble here. So far 4 DNFs. Maybe Ricardo Sr. will be our 5th DNF right here. Is he coming back at the pits or not? Stefan Brotherson and Bill Worrell for 9th position. So Ricardo Sr. is still in the pits. And no, he's getting out. All right. All right, lap 68 out of 70. And look who's got the fastest lap. None other than Argenis Riera with a 111.6. So Argenis Riera dominating that race right now, and having the fastest lap. So Mills could do a pit stop right now and try to bang the fastest laps at the end. Fastest lap at the end. That's what I would do if I was him, hoping that there wouldn't be any traffic. But yeah, that's what he's doing. Josh Mills in the pits. Wow. I called it. I want to see that. So Josh Mills, let's go trackside. Yeah, he's in the pits. He's gonna take the soft compound, and he will have an out lap and a fast lap, and we're gonna go on board with him for that lap. So trackside, he has one back marker in front of him, so he needs to get rid of that back marker quite soon. Can he make it? Can he make it happen? Get rid of that Alfa Romeo back marker. I think he should be able to. He's coming like a mad train with soft compound tires. Oh yeah, he's right behind that Alfa Romeo. It shouldn't be a factor. The Alfa Romeo is gonna gently let him go, and now we're gonna go on board with Josh Mills in his final attempt. He looks like he has a clear track in front of him. There's a car in front, but it's so far away, I doubt he will catch him. Last lap, ladies and gentlemen, and Josh Mills, whoa, hard on the sausage, but man, I see that car in front getting bigger and bigger. Hell, I wouldn't be surprised if he catches him. So we're on board with Josh Mills. Well done for turn 1 and 2. I think he doesn't have to push the issue here. He's got soft compound with the lightest car possible. Nicely negotiated. Still on board. Not sure if that's not his teammate in front. Is it La Lancette? No, that's not La Lancette. But here he is. Josh Mills under brake. Is he going to be 1 second here and having the DRS? Can he? Does he have DRS? No, he does not. Negotiating the last curve. Oh, hard on the sausages. Can he make it happen? He did. Josh Mills, wow. While Riera won, crossed the line, we were watching Josh Mills doing the fastest lap at the end. Well done. Great action there. And at the rear, we got Walcott and Cooper. Still some people racing in this race right here. But Glenn Cooper behind Richard Walcott. Can this happen? Looks like they're going really slow, but there's what's happening? Did they cross the line already? Because they're not fighting. I thought they were still fighting. All right, so no, there's no more race going on here. Woo! Okay, wow. Okay, that's a good finish. I kind of like that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I think we're done with that. So winning that race, Argenis Riera. So scoring a lot of points here. He's gonna take a good option on Josh Mills, but Mills managed to get that fastest lap at the end, and that's what we want to see. Taking a risk like that, calculated risk, and he managed to do a 1:11.048. That's almost half a second faster than what Riera did. But Riera did that with the hard compounds. Josh Mills did that with the soft compound. So he was hard on the sausages, the turtles. Let's put it that way. Zeke Montero in third position. That wraps up the podium. Good play by Zeke Montero. Good race by Zeke Montero here. Third position, really aggressive, good pace towards, throughout the race, but at the end right there. Now Janos Magasrevi in fourth position. We got Jean-Pierre Lancette in fifth. These are good points for the Red Bull team for the Drivers' Championship. Richard Walcott, who was not even supposed to be here tonight, he was doubtful to be here, finished sixth, starting from the rear. So he's my driver of the day because, this is a great performance by Richard Walcott. And now we got Glenn Cooper for McLaren in seventh, Elise Tape in eighth, Stefan Brotherson in ninth, Jeff Oppenheim in 10. The two Alfa Romeos really fighting there, going aggressive at it. Bill Worrell in 11. Ricardo Sr., who is in the pit. He did not retire, but Bill Worrell did, even if he scored as 11th. I'm just looking at the scoreboard right now. This is probably because there was he DNF'd at the end and there were people with more laps behind. So Ricardo Sr. in 12th. He really hit the turtles hard, and he spun at the walls of champions. That was quite spectacular on his part. Cliff Van Leeuwen in 13th position and Thomas Shepard in 14th. The rest of the pack did not finish that race. So woohoo! Well, nicely done from Argenis Riera. Dominated that race. Unfortunately, there was no action from him to be seen. Josh Mills was more in the pack. He fought at the beginning with, I think that was Montero and Magasrevi, so we had a little fight there, but at the end, really that fastest lap, which I looked on board, I really enjoyed that. So congrats to Josh Mills for doing that. It's really ballsy. I appreciate that. I really respect that. Now Montero gave us a great performance speed-wise, and for the rest of the pack, we had a few fights there between the Alfa Romeo guys. There were a lot of different situations, especially at the end of the fast straight with the pit entrance, or just like people overshooting the chicane and sometimes defending a little bit hard. So I mean, I might be regarding that. I might be looking at that replay again and try to figure out what happened between Ricardo Sr. and I think that was Tony Mitsalis in the Alpha Tauri. So we got a race in 2 weeks, which will be the Red Bull Ring in Austria. And I highly recommend you guys be here. I think my teammate Matt Hartley will be back from his vacation. We're still Thursday. It's a bit late, so you watch the 7th race of the 2024 SimRacingHub F1 Championship on RFactor platform, and you're watching on GTCQ TV. I'm your host, François Goulet. I wish you a good night, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. So, bye-bye.